Hello neighbor, this is Curt with Etrailer, and today we're going to take a look at the RockyMounts MonoRail bike rack and see how it works with our 2024 Mazda CX-50. Now after watching this video, if you decide that the monorail is the bike rack for you, you go ahead and get it and you use it a few times. Please share some photos and your experiences in the comments below. We would love to share your story with our other neighbors so they can make the best decision for themselves. Now if you've been looking for a platform bike rack that can do a lot of things, comes with a lot of cool features, and is pretty easy to use and maneuver, then the monorail might be the bike rack for you. It is a wheel-mounted bike rack, so if you have a bike that has a carbon fiber frame or a custom paint job, that'll stay protected because it's going to be wheel-mounted. It really only has 2 points of contact to worry about. There is a wheel strap in the back here, along with this arm and hook in the front. The bike rack is steel and aluminum, so it weighs under 38 pounds, so it can be really easy to manage when you take it out and put it back in. And it has a weight capacity of 60 pounds per bike, so it can handle some of those e-bikes that are out there on the market as well. But if we're going to take a look at how it fits on our CX-50, one of the first things that I like to take a look at is what kind of spacing do we have between the bike and the vehicle. And honestly, the monorail is a tighter fit than some other bike racks. However, even with this kind of larger frame bike on it, while it's close, it's really not in any danger of contacting the back of the CX-50. Even if I get it on a rougher piece of road and it shakes around quite a bit like this, it's really not coming close either by the pedal or the handlebar to touching the back of the vehicle. But like with pretty much any vehicle out there, a platform bike rack is going to have some obstruction when it comes to your visibility and other drivers' visibility of the back of your vehicle. So for instance, it does keep it a little bit higher up, so you are going to see some of the bike through your rear window. It's also going to have some partial blockage of your tail lights, so for other drivers out there to be able to see, along with some blockage of your license plate and your rear view camera. So it is pretty important with that rear view camera not being fully visible to know just what kind of footprint you're leaving behind the vehicle. So if I'm going from the bumper to the furthest part of the rack, which is this knob right here, we're looking at an extra 31 inches added to the back of the vehicle. So just keep that in mind. You've got a little over 2.5 feet back here that you're going to have to account for whenever you're backing into a tighter space or trying to parallel park. The other thing we like to take a look at is ground clearance. So this bike rack does keep it pretty close to the vehicle. The further away you are, the more ground clearance actually becomes an issue. But we're going to go ahead and take a look here and see. I'm going to measure it from this handle right here. And that's going to give us just under 17 inches, which should generally be a lot of ground clearance for anybody when you come upon a steeper driveway or incline. And that's mainly because it is held a little closer to the vehicle. Might be more of a concern if it held the bikes way out here, but it really doesn't. Now, I had also mentioned that the bike trays, you could carry up to 60 pounds per bike on here. So whatever your bike weighs, just make sure that you're comfortable with being able to lift it up and down about 22 inches in order to get them on and off the rack. Now, one of the most common questions we get when it comes to a hitch bike rack is, will you have access to your lift gate? And the monorail is going to give that access with the tilt-away feature. It's going to be accessed through this blue handle that's underneath here. And you're just going to brace your bike, pull back on that handle, and slowly lower it away from the vehicle. Once we've accomplished that, we're going to have full access into our lift gate. So now I can get into the back of my vehicle, I can get my equipment, change my shoes, grab my helmet, get extra water, whatever it may be. Or maybe I just want to hit the store on the way home from the trail. And this is going to allow me to pack groceries or whatever it is I need in here without actually removing the bike from the rack. And in order to get it back into its riding position, we simply need to lift up against it until it clicks, and now we're ready to get back on the road. So I had mentioned before that there are really 2 points of contact when it comes to taking the bike off and on. First, we have this wheel strap here. If we're going to remove the bike, we're going to go ahead and depress this blue tab. And while I'm pointing out that blue tab, that's something I really like about this rack, is that all of the functioning points are kind of colored in that bright blue, so it'll stand out if you ever need to load or unload your rack or operate it in low light conditions. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and first detach this wheel strap. I'm going to take it out and I'm going to feed it right here through the spokes and just clear it out of the way. Then on my arm and hook here, there's this blue trigger in the front. So I'm going to go ahead and brace my bike so it doesn't fall over. Depress that trigger, slide the hook up, clear the wheel, and now I'm able to remove my bike and I can either store it or hit the trail. So as I mentioned before, the monorail weighs about 38 pounds, which doesn't make it the heaviest rack out there that you can get, but you still may not want to install and uninstall it every time you want to take a bike ride. You may just want to leave it in your hitch. And for that, it does have a stowaway position, so we can fold it up closer to the vehicle and get rid of this big footprint that we have back here. We're going to go right back to that blue handle underneath, pull that back, but instead of letting it tilt away, we're going to fold it up like this, let it click into place. Now we've significantly reduced that footprint. We've got it down to just over 11 inches. So by about 2/3, we were able to cut that back. So that should make it much easier to manage back here when you don't have a bike on the rack. The one thing though that you may notice is that while our rear view is cleared up through the window, other drivers are going to be able to see our tail lights clearly now. Our license plate is blocked and our camera is going to be blocked quite a bit too, as you can see, because this post has come up and blocked it out even a little bit more. So there's a look at the RockyMounts MonoRail and how it fits with our 2024 Mazda CX-50. I'm Curt with Etrailer. Thanks for stopping by.